The August heat scorched fierce across the Wyoming Badlands, but Elena Vasquez only sensed the icy grip of isolation. 15 years a widow now, 15 years of laboring from first light to twilight's hush, and 15 years since anyone's gaze had lingered on her as if she were more than a homesteader with roughened palms. Folks in Pine Hollow whispered that Elena was fierce, unyielding, too self-reliant for her own sake, but they didn't know the truth. Elena wasn't proud, she was just tired of being disappointed. The Vasquez ranch stretched wide and wild under a sky bigger than memory. Her cattle dotted the plains like quiet prayers, and her house, old, wooden, and brave, stood at the edge of a silver creek. Inside, every board groaned like it carried stories that no one asked to hear. The walls knew silence better than laughter. The bed stayed cold every night, and her heart stayed locked tight. Then one dusk, when the air hung heavy with storm scent, a rider appeared on the horizon. Elena spotted him as she knelt in her garden, pulling ripe tomatoes from the earth. The cowboy swayed in his saddle, his shoulders sagging, gripping the reins with trembling fingers. Dust and dried blood marked his shirt, his hat low over a pale, weary face. Elena dropped her basket and hurried toward the gate. The man stopped his horse and lifted his hat with a shaky hand. "Ma'am," he rasped, voice rough as gravel, I could sure use some water for me and my horse." "You're hurt," Elena said, her sharp eyes already scanning his side. "Just a scratch," he tried to grin, but his knees buckled as he stepped down. She caught him quick, her grip firm as iron. "Easy now, you're safe here." "What's your name?" she asked. Cole Redding," he murmured, near breathless. Elena guided him into her kitchen. The smell of stew filled the air, and the soft lamplight played over a strained face as she cleaned the wound with gentle but steady hands. "Looks like a bullet grazed you," she said quietly. Cole winced, but nodded. "Didn't mean to end up in a gunfight today." "Most folks never do," Elena replied, wrapping the bandage snug around his ribs. His gaze lingered on her, not like most men who looked at her ranch and saw property, or her years and saw limits. He looked at her like she mattered. "You'll stay the night," she said finally. He shook his head. "Don't want to drag trouble your way." Elena crossed her arms. "You can barely stand, Cole. Trouble or not, I don't turn away a soul who needs help." He gave in, too weary to argue. They sat together at her kitchen table. Cole's hands trembled as he lifted the spoon, but once he started eating, he didn't stop. "Been on the trail long?" Elena asked. "Days," he whispered. "Been riding away from something." Elena studied him closely. Beneath the grime, she saw a man haunted by more than pain, by something deeper, something that ran from the law or from love. When he finished, she showed him to the guest room upstairs. "Clean sheets," she said softly. "Rest now. You'll need it." Cole looked up, eyes full of quiet gratitude. "You've done more than I deserve." Elena hesitated at the door, feeling warmth she hadn't felt in years. "Sleep well," she said, closing it behind her. That night, rain fell hard against the windows. For the first time in forever, her house felt alive. Footsteps upstairs reminded her what it meant to not be alone. "Hey, folks, if you're still here, Don't forget to subscribe if you love these Wild West stories. Your likes and comments help this channel reach more hearts across the prairie. Now, let's ride on with the story. Elena awoke to the sound of clinking metal. Out by the barn, Cole was carrying 2 buckets of water, his shirt still damp from morning dew. I figured I could lend a hand, he said shyly. Least I can do for the kindness. Elena raised her brow. No man had worked beside her since her husband passed. It felt strange, but good. Breakfast is ready, she said, fighting a smile. They ate together again. Cole moved slow, careful, but color had returned to his cheeks. Why live alone out here? He asked quietly. Elena sighed. Life just, didn't turn the way I thought it would. No family? He asked. She shook her head. Some dreams don't grow the way you plant 'em. He nodded, eyes gentle. Elena noticed the calluses on his palms, real working hands, not a drifter's hands. That mattered. Later that day, they saddled up and rode the pasture. Elena watched him the way he handled the horse, sure and balanced. You know your way around stock, she said. These are fine cattle, he replied. Someone with grit runs this place. She felt her cheeks warm. Compliments weren't something she was used to. Just doing what needs doing, she murmured. Cole dismounted to fix a broken fence post. Elena watched him, that small, dangerous spark lighten inside her chest again. It felt strange, alive, and terrifying. As they rode back, the sun dipping low, Cole said quietly, Sometimes a man runs so long he forgets what standing still feels like.
Elena's heart ached. You can rest here a while, she said softly. There's enough work for 2, if you're willing. Cole met her eyes. I'd like that, he said, voice low, full of something unspoken. That night, thunder rolled over the hills. Elena went to check the barn doors before the storm broke. Cole was there, feeding the horses, rain in his hair. He turned toward her. You've given me more kindness than I know what to do with, he said. Haven't had a roof over my head in a long time. You're welcome here, she whispered. Lightning flashed, and for a moment they just stared. The world was all wind and heartbeats. Cole reached up slowly, giving her room to refuse. She didn't move. His fingers brushed her cheek, rough, warm, and she leaned in. Their kiss was soft, startled, full of years of loneliness breaking open all at once. The storm raged, but inside her another storm began. For the first time in 15 years, Elena Vasquez felt alive. The next dawn, she found him by the stove, making biscuits. Hope you don't mind, Cole said. Figured I'd get breakfast started. She smiled. Not one bit. Their eyes met. They didn't talk about the kiss, but both remembered. As the days passed, Cole stayed, working, fixing, laughing. He repaired fences, mended the barn, even convinced her old cat to sit by his boots. Elena began to laugh again, real laughter, the kind that filled her house like sunshine after too much rain. But with joy came fear. One afternoon she watched him from the kitchen window, shirt sleeves rolled, hammer swinging steady. He looked like he belonged there, like he belonged to her. That evening, with the sunset painting gold across the plains, Cole leaned on the porch rail. Elena, he said, slow and careful, I want to stay, not just till I'm healed, longer. Her breath caught. How much longer? As long as you'll have me. Why? She asked softly. He looked out at the land. For the first time, I don't feel like I'm running from something. I feel like I've finally stopped. Elena swallowed the lump in her throat. This ranch, it's a lot to take on. I'm not afraid of hard work, he said. No, she whispered, voice shaking. It's a lot to take on with me. Cole turned. Elena, I see you. Not just the land, not the walls you built. You. She blinked fast, her heart pounding. I want to court you proper, Cole said, taking her hands. And if someday you'll have me, I want to build a life here with you. She hesitated. She was 58, he was 30. What right did she have to dream? You're young, she whispered. You could have children, a life that isn't burdened by years like mine. He smiled faintly. I thought I wanted that once, but then I met a woman who doesn't need saving, just someone who'll stand beside her. Her defenses cracked. I have secrets, Cole, she said softly. Things I've never told anyone. Whatever they are, he whispered, they won't scare me off. Elena hesitated, then took a breath. I'm not what folks think. This land and half the town's business, they're mine. I just don't show my money. It changes people. Cole looked at her in surprise. You're wealthy? Very, she admitted. He stepped close. Elena, he said, I didn't fall for your money. I fell for the woman who milks her own cows at dawn, who works harder than any man, who made me stew when I was half dead. That's the woman I want. Her shoulders relaxed for the first time in years. He smiled softly, brushing her cheek. I don't want your fortune. I want you. The porch light flickered in the wind. The horses stirred in the barn. The world felt small and perfect. Then stay, she whispered. He kissed her again, slow, certain, like a promise. But before their lips parted, thunder cracked, not from the sky, but from the road. Hoofbeats, loud, angry. Cole stiffened. Who would come here this late? Elena asked. His face darkened. He may be after the anger, he said quietly. Men from Cheyenne. They think I owe them after that gunfight. The past had caught up. 3 riders stormed through the gate, horses snorting, pistols at their sides. The leader, a tall man with a scar, called out, We're looking for Cole Redding. Cole stepped forward. You found him. You ran from a fair fight, the man sneered. The boss don't like runaways. Elena's heart pounded, but her fear turned to anger. They had brought violence to her land. This is private property, she said sharply. Keep riding, or I'll have the sheriff meet you in town. Lady, the man growled, money don't buy him out of this. I'm not the buying kind, she said coldly, but I do protect what's mine. Cole looked at her. Her words struck deep. The scarred man spat into the dust. This ain't over, he snarled. Then you'd best not come back, Elena replied. The men rode off into the fading light. Silence fell again. Cole trembled with relief. You shouldn't have stood up for me, he said softly. I won't hide from anyone, Elena answered, and I won't let them take you. Emotion flickered across his face. You'd risk everything for me? She touched his cheek. I said you'd help me carry this ranch. I'll help carry you. He leaned close. I love you, Elena Vasquez, been fallen since the day I rode through your gate. Tears filled her eyes. I love you too, Cole. I never thought I'd feel that again. They kissed slow, deep, full of everything lost and found. When they parted, Elena smiled through tears. "If you're planning to stay," she said softly, "there's something you should know." "What's that?" he asked. She took his hand and placed it over her heart. "This place is yours too. Not 'cause you asked, but because you earned it." He swallowed hard. "Then I'll spend every sunrise proving you're right." They stood beneath a sky full of stars, the land peaceful once more. Danger would come again some day, but they'd face it together. Later, as night softened around them, Cole laid beside Elena for the first time. Not as a wanderer, not as a stranger, but as the man she had chosen. "Take it easy," she whispered, smiling in the dark. Cole laughed softly, kissing her hand. "You make me feel like I've finally found home." "You did," she whispered. "We both did." Outside, the wind swept gently across the open fields. The Vasquez ranch slept under the wide Wyoming sky. Tomorrow would bring work, maybe even trouble, but tonight Elena's heart was at last at peace. She wasn't alone anymore. If this story touched your heart, folks, don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from. It truly keeps this channel riding strong. Till next time, keep your heart open and your spirit free.
Under the wide, wild western sky.